Hey y'all, my name is Ifeani. Some people know me by Big Sis. And if you here on my channel, YouTube, thank you so much for being here. I'm just going to be talking about loyalty to self today. Today we going to be talking about loyalty to self and why it's so important and how we in our society have really just been like giving our loyalty to things outside of us before we have loyalty to ourselves. And I'm going to explain more about that. If y'all still here, make sure you go ahead, subscribe to the channel, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, like it, all that stuff. I'm just getting started on my page with posting content regularly, but I'm grateful y'all here. And I just want to just kind of like give a little bit more context behind my journey and experiences that I've had and how I've had to overcome the feelings of thinking about what other people thought and had to say about me, and really just be loyal to myself and what I stood for in my character and my life. So what inspired me to talk about this topic is like recently Drake put out like a diss track. We're at the beginning of January at the time of this recording, and Drake put out a diss track in regards to LeBron James, and so people are kind of talking about it all over the internet. And I saw another creator, his name is Deontay, and he's a part of the Grits and Eggs podcast, and he does that podcast. He's just an amazing dude and really speaks truth and facts, and so I have to shout him out at the beginning. But I saw his point and I was like, I completely agree with it. And so I was like, you know what, this is something perfect for me to talk about on my YouTube channel, and talking about loyalty to self. And in my experience, I was in my life, like, of course, growing up, you want to be popular, you want to be a part, right? I was always like in middle school, high school, knew that I was a person that wanted to be a part of different crowds and have different friend groups and all this other stuff. And I tried my best to do that. But at the end of the day, a lot of it was not really aligned. A lot of the people I realized that I was different than, and some of the people that I connected more to weren't quote unquote as popular, or weren't the people that I should want to be around, right? But they were the people that were more authentically, honestly, just themselves. And they weren't really concerned with what the popular group of people were doing. And I get into that as it relates to like Drake and stuff, because I realized a lot of what's going on between this beef that he had with Kendrick, or has with Kendrick, and what's being what has been unearthed since that about him is like, wow, you really like, I'm a person that really like Drake, but he really has shown his ass in this whole thing, and really just shown like how unfortunate it is when it's like you get a lot of fame and a lot of clout and a lot of money and a lot of status, but you really don't have morals. You really don't have integrity. You really don't have like just loyalty really to the things that matter. And I think about being in high school and wanting to like fit in with the in crowd, but like the things that they were doing, they cared about, I couldn't give a fuck about. Like I really didn't care about that, right? So it's like the conversations that we having ain't really genuine. I'm trying to fit in with this crowd or fit in with that crowd because I'm trying to be perceived as cool, but in the reality it's like we don't have any of the same moral standards or values. And then it took me growing up to realize like, wow, people really don't have that. And what's been brought forth in popular culture in the last decade to 20 years, I mean before that, but 20 years, since rap became a little less conscious, like it's been a lot of the things that don't matter. A lot of things being glorified that doesn't matter, the external. We always talking about, oh, how many hoes can you get? How many women can you get? How many cars can you drive? How many bags can you have? How many shoes can you have? How many niggas can you have? How much of this and how much of that? And it's like, none of that shit really matters. How do you feel about yourself? You know what I'm saying? You having a whole bunch of women on your roster, you having a whole bunch of niggas on your roster, it doesn't really necessarily mean a lot about your own self-worth. And I think as we continue as a collective to do a lot of more healing, the things that was once popular in pop culture is becoming less and less, and you able to see through like all the illusion, like wow. And I think the situation with Drake and Kendrick is like really showing like wow, this is really what you are. The conversation, I haven't even listened to the whole diss about LeBron and all that type of stuff, because I just haven't. So I haven't listened to it. But from what the point that was made was like, you know, LeBron being distancing himself after this whole debacle between Kendrick and Drake. And it's like he's distancing himself because he's a family man, because he has different, now mind you, I don't know LeBron and I don't know LeBron. Y'all know I don't know LeBron. I know damn LeBron. I don't know what he do in his personal time, but for his but his character and his figure, he's a family man. He takes care of his family. He has a wife and has been with the same woman since we've got introduced to him. He's had his children. He's a family person. That's his you know, that's the forefront of what we know him as being, right? And then when we think of somebody like Drake, right, that's not what we know him as. We know him as constantly always talking about all these different women that he's been with, whether he's broken their heart, they've broken his heart. He's talked about, oh, he's a lover boy, wanting to be in these relationships, but it's like you're constantly doing all the things of a fuck boy who doesn't want to be in a relationship. So why would anybody really take you serious? Either way, right? And so that's what's been put into the culture, right? Because he has had a lot of notoriety, right? But I think what happened with the Kendrick Lamar situation and everything that he said, and They Not Like Us, it was like, wow, if you really listening, like if you really tapped in, it's like showing us a complete other side of Drake. And ever since that, it's like he's continuously showing us that side of him, right? And so the reason why I say all of this is related to like loyalty about self, and the reason why I related to my own situation is because I realized once I had got to about 30 years old that some people that I was associated with in my life and where I was in my life, I was realizing internally like it just didn't fit anymore. Like I was realizing like I was still calling people my friend and still being in association with people who I just really didn't identify with anymore, for the standpoint of like, oh, we grew up together, oh, we went to this school together, oh, we had this experience together. But every time I would go back home, I would realize like these people don't necessarily align with where I'm going, and it's not even really no shade to them for real. It's just this isn't where I see the trajectory of my friendships going. This is not necessarily where I want the people that I'm networking with and what I want to do. Like these aren't necessarily the people that I want to be doing that with in my particular age range. And so I realized like, wow, this is not, I didn't know, like I didn't really understand how much and how important it was to my like loyalty to myself. Like I remember having conversations with people and trying to convince them that, hey, that's not really cool. Like having a friend, if I'm a woman and I stand for women's rights, and I believe that black men should be doing black women a certain type of way and holding them to a certain level of standard, because this is what I expect from the men that I date, how am I going to be friends with a man because we went to school together, middle school, elementary school together? How am I going to be friends with a man who is a dog to women and known to be a dog to women? How am I going to sit by and laugh at how you treat other women when I wouldn't let you touch me with a 10-foot pole, nor let you or any of your other despicable friends touch me? Why would I think that's not funny to me anymore? I had to really acknowledge that, like, that's not funny to me. It's childish. It's very immature. Like, after 30 years old, we still shouldn't be talking about where the hoes at. Like, come on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, grow up. I'm not telling you that you have to be in a relationship and get married if that's not something that you want to do, but just outright being disrespectful to black women is crazy. And I'm not going to. I realize, like, that doesn't give me loyalty to myself. This is not something that aligns with the morals and the standards that I have for myself, my family, the girls that I'm raising. the woman who I aspire to be, this doesn't align with that. So why would I have loyalty to you because of a place that we grew up at, or because of something like I know you? Like when you in school with people and you grow up or you become into a certain relationship where you get connected with people in a certain type of way, sometimes that don't mean that y'all align for real. That just means y'all was in a circumstantial space together, and that means that y'all have a connection in that way, but that doesn't mean that y'all come for the same crop. Like that doesn't, or cut from the same cloth for real. That doesn't mean that your mindset is not the same as this person. That doesn't mean that your priorities are the same as this person. And so when you in a space where you trying to elevate, it's important for you to really like take account of the people that's around you, because you're not going anywhere if you have people around you that literally have no morals, no standards for themselves, no value. They don't have shit to lose, so they don't care if you lose everything you got. You can't go nowhere with people like that. And I think that relates to the situation with Kendrick, with Drake, with LeBron, and the fallout that we're seeing across the industry with this beef between Kendrick and Drake. And I'm not saying Kendrick is perfect at all, because we know he's a human. He got his own mistakes. He got his own stuff in his closet, and LeBron do too. But at the end of the day, it's like when we think about where we're going and the trajectory of what my brand personally, what the trajectory of what I stand for and what I aspire to be, like, why would I cahoot and be in relation with somebody who does the exact opposite of what I'm standing for? What does that say about me? What does that say about me? And so when you moving through your life, it's important to create loyalty within yourself. It's important to be loyal to your own standards. It's important to be loyal to what it is you see for yourself in the future. It's important for you to sometimes let go of people as you're moving on this trajectory of your life. Like, it's okay. It's okay to let go of people. You can send them love and light, because I hope that the people that I'm thinking about, I hope they're doing well, and I hope they're doing better. But for me, I couldn't keep doing it. I just couldn't keep doing it. I couldn't keep doing it. It wasn't I didn't think it was funny. I didn't think it was funny for people to talk about, I just didn't think it was funny. I didn't think it was cool no more. I didn't think it was cool for us to be in our 30s and you talking about basically manipulating women that's in their 20s, 19 and 20. I didn't think it was cool I didn't think it was cool as a woman who's like, for women, a woman who is like thinking that women need to step up into their power and call in the things that they are supposed to be deserving of. I didn't think that it was cool to give niggas passes for running all over them, treating them like dogs, treating them like whatever, just for the sake of whatever. Like, I didn't think that was cool. I didn't think it was cool to be, dogging other women that, like, for females, I didn't think it was cool to be dogging other women that we supposed to be cool with behind their back. I didn't think that was cool. Like, I just had to separate myself from that, because I just didn't desire to do that. And I realized, like, if you would do that to the other women that's in our collective group, then you're going to do that to me. And you have done it to me. I'm not dumb. You know what I'm saying? So I realized that I had to separate myself from people that I had known for a long time and had close relationship to. I just didn't think it was cool. And it wasn't even no conversation needed, because I had already seen. That's the thing about me personally. Like, I'm a Leo with a Cancer rising, Libra, what's it called, moon. And I'm emotional, but I could be not emotional. But the Libra balances me out. You know what I'm saying? And what I was able to understand, and I'm an observer. I'm a seer. I see things. I observe for a long time. And I might not say nothing, but just know I peep game, and I wasn't crazy. I was battling with myself for a long time. Like, dang, because I love and care about these people so much, these friendships that I had for so long. But I realized, like, I'm betraying myself by allowing you to think this is okay. I'm betraying myself by hanging and associating around with this and playing like this is cool. This shit is not cool. It's not cool. And it's very indicative of who you are as a person in your character. And it's very telling. And so I just realized, like, the loyalty has to come to yourself. The loyalty has to start with self. The loyalty has to start with your faith, your morals, your standards, your values. Because if you place that stuff outside of yourself and you remain loyal to people, even though they have shown you over and over and over and over and over again, when they had the choice to make decisions to do better, and they literally kept doing the worst thing, the bad thing, doing the terrible thing they have shown you over and over, that's their character. That's who they are. You can only give passes and stuff for so long. And the reason why I think that everything is showing up on a grand scale in the country at a mass level with Drake, with LeBron, with Kendrick, and all of that is because it's indicative of what's happening in the culture right now. The real is being separated from the fake, and that's just what it is. And people will think that it's the other way around, or whatever the case may be, but it just is what it is. It's like the real will separate themselves because the morals and the standards and the values do not align anymore. It just doesn't align anymore. So as you going through this year, 2025, I promise you, we're going to keep seeing it. You're going to keep having opportunities to do what it is you said you was going to do. You're going to have opportunities to be loyal to yourself and your own community, your standards, what you have for yourself, what you see as your brand, as your representation. What do you represent? What are your morals? You're going to be able to have more opportunities and more opportunities to declare and define what your morals are. But remember to stay loyal to you and stay loyal to your what I was gonna say. Remember to stay loyal to you. On top of it all, remember to stay loyal to you and your journey, your morals, your standards, your values. Remember to stay loyal to you throughout it all. Don't never fold for nobody outside of you. Remain loyal to yourself. Peace.